All right, well, let's talk about Melbourne, because they did show last night that when the going gets tough, they can get going.
It was a brutal game. You want to see both these sides play this way more often. There was nothing left in the tank. And as we'll see here, young Rivers kicks the match winner with a big left foot snap. That is brilliant by Melbourne. Brilliant comeback, and they did really well last night. A great moment for them. They should play finals now. But as I said, Lordo, a brutal game where both sides put their head over the footy. It was one of the great contests, and you'd love to see both these sides play like this more often when the game or season's on the line.
And 23 goals kicked, Bill. It was good to see a bit of a shootout in the modern day game.
It was indeed. And one of those goals, there was some really good goals kicked last night, but this was a beauty. Goal of the night, Brent Daniels win the, what is it, the ham or whatever it is. But have a look how he picks it up here. Brent Daniels gets it here nicely, runs towards the boundary, and he kicked 3 for the night, and that was an unbelievable goal. Well done to you. Don't know why we had to go upstairs, to be honest. Look at that, he kicked it to himself and then knew what he was doing here, put it out there and just brought it back beautifully. Well done. He was a good player with his 3 goals.
So what's the reaction been, Damo?
It was a different story post-match, wasn't it? Simon Goodwin, who you saw there, really invested in the game throughout it, on the sidelines there, and then just gave themselves a chance, haven't they, to make the finals with a win required next week. And Leon Cameron, who made some drastic changes before the game with team selection, very demoralised.
So it was a step forward as a footy club. There's no question about that. I thought some of the maturity of some of our younger guys especially was outstanding. But we've got to create a new pathway forward as a club and play this way week in, week out. And as I said, all we've done is given ourselves an opportunity to play the same way again next week.
I can't question some of the effort out there today, and no doubt we're out in our feet in the last quarter on a 4-day break, but it's pointless having effort and then lack of composure. You know, I was really proud of some of our young fellas that came in. You know, Tom Greene was outstanding, and young Jack Buckley on his debut was just terrific. But there was also some players that have been down, and so there'll be opportunities next Friday night.
Leon spoke there about he can't question the effort, but I reckon he can question the team ethos from the Giants. They had 52 inside 50s to the Demons 39. Let's take a look at some of the ones they wasted. So here's Lockie Whitfield. I don't know how he got that space, but hit up your full forward. But he wanted to kick it round the corner straight to the All-Australian fullback Stephen May. So there's one goal that's cost him. This is Toby Greene. We all love Toby, but Toby, give the handball to a teammate, but no, you want to kick the goal yourself. So here's another goal that they miss, and you burn team harmony there, Toby Greene. So that's number 2. Number 3, here's Zach Williams. Ball in the back pocket. He looks at his teammate. Nah, I'll go and do it myself, I will. I'll go and take on some teammates. Gets himself in trouble, Bill. Ball goes straight back to Melbourne. You know what they do? They play the percentages here, Melbourne. Salem gives the ball when he should. Just lay it out in front, and this is what happens. Just play the basics like Richmond do. And the last grab, Brownie highlighted this one for me. There's the ball, Spargo. There is Taranto. He looks at Rivers and thinks to himself, no, I won't worry about you, Rivers. I won't worry about it. So the ball plays on. No, who kicks the goal?
Rivers.
Trent Rivers does. So you talk about dropping players. You talk about, obviously, we had a crack, but that's not good enough. And Brett Daniels said a long time ago that there's a bit of a selfish nature to it. And that's why they're probably going to miss the finals this year.
And Trent Rivers to join us live a little later on. But, Kane, why was Toby Greene Toby Greened?
Well, he was. Let's have a look at this one from Jake Melcham, TJ. And this is the Toby Greene rule that they brought in with the big karate chop. And there hasn't been much spoken about this. But can you imagine if that was Toby Greene that did that to someone else, the outcry behind that? So, look, maybe some would say it's karma, but that was, I don't think anything illegal from what Melcham did, but there just hasn't been the outcry that there would have been if it was Toby Greene.
Damo, it was a surprise, although maybe it shouldn't have been, when Stephen Coniglio was dropped. And, Billy, you were saying earlier, the first time since John Morsfield when he played for the Eagles. Captain, yeah.
28 years ago.
I mean, it's hard to know whether it was justified or not.
Look, personally, TJ, I don't think it was, and I'm really strong on you don't drop a captain. Now, I know there were reasons for it that relate purely to form and the way he was playing, but when you make that decision and then you don't get the result that you ultimately want, I don't know where you go. So they're coming off a grand final year. They've got Stephen Coniglio in as captain this year outright. For the first time in the club's history, it wasn't Cal Ward and Phil Davis. You get to the second last game of that very first season, the finals now seem a remote possibility only, and you've dropped your captain, you haven't got the result. I don't know what message it sends. I mean, you can't bring him back now for the last game, and then you've got a pre-season going into 2021 with all sorts of unknown about the leadership of the football side of things as well, and the pressure under the coach who has been re-signed for 2 years.